Welcome back, everyone, to Better Day Podcast. My name is Katrina, and today we are diving into how volunteering and fellowship can impact our mental health, the differences between the two, and how we can bring purpose and connection into our lives. I'm here with Leslie.
Hello, everyone.
And Anthony's back there.
Hello, how y'all doing?
How are we doing today, folks?
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, wonderful. Especially, I love having our pre-podcast chats.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We do.
Yeah.
Okay, so first I wanna really touch base on the difference between volunteer and fellowship. Not everyone knows the difference. What do you think, Anthony? What is your take on the difference with that?
Volunteering and fellowship, while you can actually do both at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
they're exclusively different. Fellowship would be kind of like, I'll give you a prime example. I recently joined a group of men who meet, formed by a pastor. I believe his name was Pastor Ernest, and he has an event called Mandate, and we come together as men and we sit around and we fellowship, but we also discuss, different things and have conversation. That would be more like a fellowship,
Right.
whereas volunteer would be like, I guess you could say like what we do here. Well, even though it doesn't feel like it because it feels like fellowship. So that's why I said it's like the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But volunteer would be like if you go to your local, volunteer with your local city.
Mm-hmm.
Like the city of Tamarack has volunteers, Lauderdale, or volunteer your local shelter.
Mm-hmm.
It's something different. You're doing a service.
Right.
And you can fellowship while volunteering.
Mm-hmm.
Something different.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you. Volunteering, I think of the word service.
Right.
And then fellowship, I think of the word connection.
That's good. Service connection.
Growth.
Yeah. What do you think, Leslie?
Oh, of course. Volunteering, I think, is more to help a cause without getting paid, right?
Right.
That's one of the main things. And it's flexible to focus on helping others. But fellowship is a little bit more structure. That is development and growth. And they can go hand in hand. And actually here for the Better Day Foundation, this is what we do. And we promote volunteering and fellowship. And the reason why we're doing this podcast today is speaking about volunteering. Volunteering is amazing because it has a huge impact on your mental health.
Yeah, definitely. And you don't have to choose between the two. Like you're saying, they definitely go hand in hand. Volunteering just with a better day. Just volunteering with a better day. It's when I think of that, it's completely selfless. I'm not expecting anything in return. In fact, volunteering is giving me more purpose.
I could say even a lot of times in volunteering, you might meet somebody that you can fellowship with who can help you through something that you might be going through.
Oh, that's true.
That's definitely
So
true.
you make a connection that way. Yeah.
I think it's very rewarding. And part of the reasons that we promote kindness and gratitude is that when you're volunteering, for instance, I can speak for myself. When I'm volunteering, I'm always getting something back. I don't do it to get something back, but I do because it's such an amazing, rewarding feeling to help others. And at the same time, I learn a lot, which is part of, the fellowship that we have here to help us in our personal growth, reaching our fullest potential as human beings. And I think it's a win-win situation because while I'm giving to the community, I'm getting back also because I'm learning, I'm growing, and I'm always finding different ways to understand our social our social problems or problematics that are happening, because the contact that we have with the people that we help, it helps us understand why some people are in the situation that they are and what are the root cause of those situations and how we can help them.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a very incredible insight, because so many people, they think volunteering is just about helping others. It just purely helping others, but really it does shape us It shapes who we are. So, let's be honest. Sometimes it's just nice to have a legitimate excuse to avoid our own problems. Speaking about problems.
Yeah, just to be distracted and taken away for a minute.
Yeah, it takes away, so much stress goes on every day. Just set our own problems aside for a moment. Let me go help someone else.
And also brings to light that sometimes we are drowning in a little cup of water when other people go and have so many challenges and struggles, and they still remain positive, optimistic, and hopeful. And sometimes you sometimes we compare. It's a human nature. I try not to, but I sometimes I stop and think, oh my God, this person is so resilient. And sometimes I minimize the problems that I have based on that there's people that go through so much.
Yeah, it's definitely true. But I agree with you. Let's not minimize our problems, and definitely don't compare. They say God gives us what we can handle. So,
and we all have a different mission in life. The most important thing is finding your own purpose.
And doing that, volunteering places and fellowshipping, we find like-minded people that have those same driven goals that we do. Hence, a better day.
Of course. And what I love the most about seeing volunteers is like the connection, social connection, human connection that we create. And most importantly, especially, it could be in recovery, it could be just somebody that feels lonely, isolated, is that sometimes you're going to find that person that is going to become your peer support.
So one thing with giving and volunteering, you kind of have to defeat the scarcity mindset. Like I had to learn about this from personal firsthand experience. There's always a scarcity mindset. Well, if I give too much, there ain't gonna be nothing left for me. And I think that does come in, and obviously you want to do it in perspective and within how will you say the word I'm looking for?
Within like a
boundaries?
healthy,
like within a healthy bounds,
yeah.
Of course. But then don't lend yourself, or even if you have an experience where you might have given in it, and then for the first time, or you're volunteering, and then a negative experience happened, and then you categorize that whole thing. Then you have to overcome that fear and balance. That's the word I'm looking for. Balance giving with self-care.
Yeah.
So that way you can really experience the full benefit of that. So.
Yeah, you're 100% right. And that kind of reminds me of what Leslie, you were just talking about. We can't, what is that saying? You can't
pour from an empty cup.
Yeah.
You can't pour from, no.
Read my mind.
And always, self-love. You can't, how can you possibly love other people when you don't love yourself?
Exactly.
And you're a perfect creation. I have a lot of faith in God, and I love him. I am everything because of him. And I'm thinking, how can I not love myself? And if I don't love myself, how can I even possibly know what love is? And how can I provide that love to others? So that's something that we can always keep in mind, that your self-care, self-love is important.
Yeah, definitely. Let's talk about some of the volunteering and fellowships that I know that, we do just alone with a better day.
So part of, advocating about mental health and promoting ways to keep our mental health in check, volunteers offers huge benefits to mental health well-being, including reduce stress, increase happiness, and sense of purpose. And engaging with these activities is proven that is linked to the release of dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins, which, they enhance the mood. So if you're active and then you're socializing with other people, a lot of times, especially after the pandemic, a lot of people were isolating themselves. And that leads to depression and anxiety. And if you're completely isolated, you end up being like falling into this hole, the rabbit hole that you can. It's hard to get out unless you get a help, like professional help, social support. So volunteering, having purpose, having surrounded by people like have the same interests as you do. Here at For a Better Day, we offer several ways to volunteer. You can be part of the OVG team that goes to the Inter Miami soccer games. It's fun. Yes, you work.
Those are fun.
You work your butt off, but you have fun. And then also you get to mingle with some celebrities. You get to see Messi playing or other, whoever is, your soccer star. I'm super excited because we have the World Cup coming 2026. So, and now we have firsthand experience to the major players that are going to be playing at those games. And I'm a soccer fan. I mean, I love soccer, So that way we have that opportunity to volunteer at the stadium. Then we have other opportunities with the community outreach events. We have actually one event coming up in April 26th, which is going to be at the Library of North Lauderdale. And it's going to be an Easter Wellness Day. We're going to have SoFlo, Wellness and Recovery. We're going to have For a Better Day Foundation. We have another foundation helping us out, which is, I'm going to keep it a secret until you guys come. They're actually one of our major sponsors. We have 18AIDS. We have Medical Essentials. I'm going to be speaking. We have another couple of medical professionals speaking. We have giveaways, free food, free beverage, and just having fun and being part of the community. So those events, are open to the public and they're free.
Yeah, how can they get a hold of us? Or how can our listeners
It's on the website, events at forabetterdayfoundation.org. Go to our events, just register, and all you have to do is show up. April 26th is a Saturday, and it's going to be from 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m.
Yeah, so get on the website underneath volunteers and check that out.
Then we have the Believe event, which is one of this is going to be the third year doing it. Amazing event, community workshops. That event is super fun. Then we have another event is for our ACEs awareness event, which is going to be, we don't know the date yet, but we have so many things going, and we're planning actually another event that is going to be outdoors.
Oh, yeah? What's that one?
Oh, you tell us. We're going to have headphones. That's all I'm saying. I can guarantee it. We were discussing it today with Anthony. He provided us amazing feedback of what equipment we need to do it. And all you have to do is just go with an open mind.
Yeah, and that leans right into our holistic approach for our mental health and well-being.
And you can just take a blankie, lay down on the sand or on the grass, have that connection with earth, ground yourself, and then listen to an amazing sound through the headphones. And that's on the works right now, so we're super excited.
And then fellowship too, fellowship that brings us laughs. And I know I've met a lot of some really good people in our fellowships. Like we just had a cookout not that long ago. And that was great.
I was just going to say, Katrina, not for nothing, you and Lori. Lori brings volunteers from all the women that helps out. Shout out to all those volunteers that come and support certain events, fundraising events. Your girls always supporting. And let me tell you, all the proceeds from those supports go to help the community in need. Because there's a lot of need. Those people need from essentials, hygiene items.
Yeah.
They also need, sometimes sponsorships to be able to help them with paying healthcare.
Right.
Because that's pricey. A lot of individuals that we come across don't have healthcare. So with our free case management team, because we provide that pro bono, we don't charge them.
Right.
We link them with the healthcare that they might need, because there are conditions that they need ongoing care, And we want to make sure that it's not just how we resolve issues just to put a Band-Aid, is actually provide them ongoing care.
Yeah, we have all we have all of those resources, within A Better Day and within the other, SoFlo and medical essentials.
But let me tell you something, Katrina, and talking about gratitude, talking about being thankful and about kindness, your role in this organization is very impactful.
Oh.
So I appreciate it, because there are a lot of things that we are doing now in saving lives. Because how many times we got a call from somebody that is at risk to die by suicide, and reaching out for help. And, even you are on call a lot of times. And we prevented people from leaving this world, saving lives. And that, I applaud you.
Well, it's not just me, Leslie. It's all of us. But I definitely believe that's part of giving back.
Mm-hmm. And Anthony here, that, I know he comes all the way from Miami to this office that is in Broward. I'm not saying what it is. If you want to know, check out our website. But, we're tired. We have our jobs, and this is a passion that we want to really help the community in ways that we can, and make an impact in the world and make a difference in the world. He comes all the way from Miami. He's here doing the sounds, providing amazing ideas, how to improve the things that we're doing with equipment, technology, and the conversations that we have too, that they're very nice conversations before we start the show. So those are things that I think our audience doesn't know, but this is part of volunteering. This is part of fellowship. And if we're talking about that, what better example than, having this passion and giving. I have this purpose, and I wish I could share the feeling, the sentiment that I have towards this nonprofit organization and the team. Victor, Wendy from the Kiwanis Club, Fred Siegel, everybody that, helps out however they can contribute, makes an amazing difference from where we were in 2018 when we started this nonprofit to where we are now and where we're heading.
Yeah, very powerful. And, speaking of that, we really, when you think of, and I want the listeners to really listen to this, because when you think of something that you want to get involved with, really think of it, because does it affect your physical health? Is it going to affect your mental health? Am I going to be lifting things that are too heavy for me? Do I want to volunteer at a animal shelter? Or, we have the
Canine.
The canine. What's the canine? I forgot about that.
Therapy.
That's the canine therapy.
They provide emotional support.
And that's very impactful. But definitely think about the physical aspect of it too.
Definitely. And we're open to any suggestions. If anybody would like to create like a small chapter, or they have some passions about certain things, that maybe you want to lead that project, and we will be there to support you.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be amazing. Come on, join the team.
Listen, that's how we started with a lot of holistic stuff that we did. With you, Katrina, with Victor, the cookout. He loves to cook. And we had such an amazing time at the barbecue.
Yeah, just start small. You don't have to go extravagant and outrageous. Start small.
Well, we're aiming high.
We're aiming high, yes.
Start small.
But you know what? Consistency.
Consistency
is key. Yes, it's key.
Consistency.
Right. And if you want to volunteer, be conscious that it's a commitment.
Yes, please.
And don't change your mind last minute. Just think over, the pros, cons. And when you make up your mind, then you need to be ready to be committed to help out. Otherwise, don't do it.
And also, one act of kindness can inspire a chain reaction as well. So if you
that's
think
true.
like just having and volunteering, that can have a chain reaction and effect on somebody's life in a very positive manner that you could not conceive of, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
And what about bringing a friend? Grab
Yeah.
someone, bring them with you.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to meet new people, but still, you can always bring someone with you if it makes you feel more comfortable.
right.
So we know that volunteering and fellowship, we definitely both have the power to change not only other people's lives, but ours. It definitely makes, us grow as people. Giving back isn't just about the service. It's about finding that connection with it could be with other people. It could be with the nonprofit. Connection could be with, God or higher power, and really looking within yourself too.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
So when it comes down to like fellowshipping, and giving back, where do you think that? What would be a good example of that in a corporate sense?
Fellowship.
Yeah. Like, for example, if you have, let's say, giving back when it comes to business and leadership,
Okay.
right? Well, do you have any good examples of what that would be like? 'Cause that's what I was thinking about. Because in the sense of like, okay, with For a Better Day, it's easy because that's what we do,
Right.
right? But then for the listeners who might be listening, it's like, okay, well, how would you do that in a corporate sense?
Well, since I do have experience in the corporate world,
Okay.
it's easy, especially because as a company, you can invite nonprofits. You can invite, for instance, back in the day when I was in that world, we invited Gilda's Club, United Way, and we did walks, and the proceeds went to that specific nonprofit. So it was a commitment to be volunteers, to do walks. You will pay a fee to be part of that walk, and those proceeds will go to that specific nonprofit. So a lot of people were committed to volunteer because they knew that they were contributing something, towards a goal that specific nonprofit had. Some people there because emotional connection to maybe somebody that they knew or a family member died from cancer. So they get more involved with cancer. They volunteer time, they volunteer hours, the same as our volunteers with For a Better Day. But when you're talking about fellowship, in a corporate world, it's a little bit different. And it has to come from upper management, that they have to create an environment where there is team building. And when you're talking about team building, you can provide the training resources for the team to grow, to improve themselves. But also you are promoting teamwork.
Yeah.
Because one person alone, and even with volunteering fellowships, one person alone cannot do anything. It takes team effort.
Yeah.
Right.
And it has to come from upper management. When you are working at corporate level, it has to come from upper management. It's like lead by example.
Yeah.
So did I answer your question?
That's good. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Lead by example.
Yeah, that's true. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and I forget which one it was, but he said something. Let's see if I can remember it. It was any boss who thinks that they're working for them. How did he say it? He said any boss that thinks that their employees are working, that their employees are not working for them, has leadership wrong. So basically the employees are not working for the boss. The bosses are working for the employees.
I get it.
Got it?
I see what you're saying. So
Same
any
thing.
boss who thinks that he's not working for his employees.
Has leadership wrong.
Yes.
Yes. And one thing that I learned in my years of experience is that if you do not develop your team, you'll be stuck. You will never be able to move up to other positions because you will never have somebody good enough to replace you. If you're good at what you do, of course, in the position that you are. So you always have to have somebody ready to be there when you're not longer in that position. And about delegation, if you need to be absent, or even if you need to go on vacation, how can a business run if you don't have anybody ready?
That's a whole nother topic.
Exactly. But it also comes down from, respecting the individual and develop that individual, their strengths and weaknesses, and team effort.
Yeah.
Because if one person cannot, finish something, then the other person takes the load, as long as there's always balance, because one person shouldn't be doing more than the other. It has to be balance and respect.
Oh yeah, that goes hand in hand. Yeah, but that's a whole nother topic, because I know a lot of people that do not want someone else knowing how to do that or how to do their job.
They call it job security.
Yeah, but unfortunately, then the person is not a team player.
Exactly.
So right there, you can tell that person should not be in a lead position, because if you cannot be a team player, then you should be working on your own.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Do we have any other events coming up here? I know we had the Easter and
Wellness Day.
We have the holistic one that's in the mix. Anthony's going to be helping us with. That one's going to be fun.
Holistic Day is what day?
It's still in the works.
Oh,
we
yes,
have to,
that's the one with the headphones.
Yes, and we have to make sure it's not too hot, because Florida gets hot and humid.
Nah, I think
and
it
rainy.
seems like more like a nighttime vibe.
Yeah. More cool, but also a night here can be very hot sometimes.
Yeah, if it's in the summer,
Yeah, it can be. It can be.
So additionally, I think volunteering, it's proven that, can decrease the feelings of depression, anxiety, especially among adults, older adults. So sometimes I remember speaking with psychiatrists and therapists, and unfortunately, a lot of older adults get very depressed because they end up being at home, or they end up being at houses. If they're able to volunteer, they love it. I know in Kiwanis Club or in other nonprofits, older adults, they love to volunteer. They love to spend time with the community, because sometimes they have kids that are gone, and being alone, it can be very lonely.
Yeah, and please don't think just because of your age or any type of disability that you cannot volunteer or fellowship somewhere. That's absolutely insane. There's always something for you.
And if you have a talent, share with us, because if you know how to do, working with plants or painting, or you have a talent that you can share it with the world, why not to?
I think actually volunteering through your talent usually is like the easiest first step.
Yeah.
Right. So even if you might be shy and not know what to do, or you have your talent or your thing that you love to do. Like for me, obviously, it was like the tech stuff, photography and video. Then give that way first, and then let it grow from there.
And then it doesn't feel like so much of a task.
Yep.
Yeah. So when you love what you do, you don't work.
Exactly. Love what you do, you don't work one day in your life, right?
Yep.
Well, thank you both, and everybody, don't forget to just subscribe. Go on for Better Day Foundation.org. And the podcast is on there. Our volunteer opportunities are on there.
Our event calendar is there.
Yeah, and we're adding to it daily. Okay, thanks everyone. Until next time, keep giving, keep growing, and take care of yourself.
All right.
Bye
everyone.